See?
Oh my God.
A crown.
Have you worn that yet?
Not yet, because, I gotta wait till my hair's all the way done and there's gonna be a photo shoot involved. It's gonna be a whole...
Is that your new headshot?
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
I
they're
am.
like, oh, he really is gay.
Yeah. And the king of Las Vegas comedy. That's what they need to know.
Everything bothers him.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I decided to save this one as a little bit of a palate cleanser because I knew everything that I was talking about at that time was probably a little too heavy to drop this one in. Everybody wanted the gossip. For anybody that wants the update on what's going on with that other situation, I'm still waiting on the restraining order to come through, and I don't really have an update outside of that. Thankfully, I haven't heard anything, and hopefully it just stays that way. That's what I want, is just for it to stay that way. As far as this episode goes, we talk about some heavy stuff on this one, but you see the way that we take it, so I hope you guys will take it the same way. When it comes to the two comedians that she talks about at one point, I just want you guys to know, I do actually know who those two comedians are, and that's between her and them. I don't feel like it's my place to jump in and out anybody or say who it was she was talking about, and it really doesn't matter. The only thing I would say to those two comedians, because I do know them, but, the only thing I would say is that just be a little more gentlemanly in your actions. And I know we all have our moments as guys where we're not the most gentlemanly, but sometimes you have to think about the way the other person thinks. So maybe keep that in mind. And I know that everybody thinks I just say everything, but here's a secret for you guys. I only expose on my podcast probably about 10% of what I know. Usually I know a lot more about the things I talk about and the people I talk about. And they know that, even if these particular two comics don't know I'm talking about them, even though I'm sure they will. But, like when it comes to a lot of the people I talk about, they know, even though they'll act like Ty just says everything. It's like, no, I don't. I really don't say everything, because if I did say everything, people would hear a lot more. This was actually recorded 4 or 5 weeks ago. So when she talks about the date that she's going to be doing, that isn't the most current stuff. Obviously, those dates have passed. So it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. It's a break from what you've been getting. I know everybody usually thinks the opposite of my life. Like, people think that most of my life is like the other videos I put up, which is the drama and all that stuff. But this is closer to my actual life, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get to it.
He's unbothered. He calls it unbothered, but that's what's cute, because everything bothers him. He's bothered. I'm a botherina.
What's up, everybody? Thai Rivera here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. I'm still not doing a full head toss because I'm not feeling as stiff as I was, but I don't want to push it. I am not a spring chicken to be running around here whipping my head back and forth. I'm not Willow Smith. That is not happening. But welcome to yet another episode of Unbothered by Thai Rivera. That's right. It's Unbothered by Thai Rivera. My co-host Snoopy Bijou is not having a Whimsy's alligator. Not having a Whimsy's alligator because, we just don't feel like it. I get the feeling that she doesn't want one right now. I'll test it afterwards. But anyway, Whimsy's alligator is the never-to-be sponsor of Unbothered by Thai Rivera, but we still give them a shout-out, and we still put our Amazon affiliates link down below in the description box. So if you need anything from Amazon, click that link and start to shopping. Also, Karla's homemade salsa. I'm still in love with Karla's homemade salsa. I just got back from Phoenix and I didn't have any Karla's with me, and my parents hadn't bought any Karla's, and I was not having it. So Karla, be expecting an order from the parents. If anybody wants to try Karla's salsa, it really is as good as I'm always saying. My friends will hit me up private message and be like, is it really that good? And I'm like, yes, bitch. What are you bugging me for? Of course it's that good. I wouldn't shout it out all the time. Trust me. I don't have time to be shouting out things that I don't like unless it's for a lot of money. A lot of money. That's me asking the universe to send me a sponsor that I don't like that has a lot of money. Anyway, today we have a guest in the building. We had her on before. Last time you guys loved her, even though you didn't love me laughing all the time. I know, Botherinas, you have a problem with me having joy in my heart. But we are having a guest today, and she is somebody that I like very much. It is Claire, good golly, Miss Hawley. Hello, Claire.
Hi, Ty. I won't giggle.
It's not you. Nobody complained about you giggling. People were just like, you're laughing the whole time. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm happy.
Oh, the chomos liked my sweet little girl giggle.
Oh, the chomos. They're not on this podcast. You got to go to Alex Ansel for that. He's got him on lock. He lives with the king.
The King Chomo.
Yeah, he lives with King Chomo himself. So let them do it. You go on that podcast if you want to get the chomo market, which I don't blame you if you decide that that's the way you're going.
I
don't know.
I'm a little old for them.
You think? Yeah, well, yeah, you're gross to them. They're like, she's an old lady. It's like she's 22.
22. She's on her way to the grave.
That's way too old. That's disgusting. How dare you?
She gets her period? Whoa.
No.
What's next, menopause?
Yeah, no room for that. No room for that around the Chomo camp. But yeah, so I decided to have Claire back on because if you guys don't know, Claire has decided that she can't stand me anymore. And where other comics on the Las Vegas scene will decide that they can't stand me and they do nothing about it, Claire was like, you know what? I've got options. I'm not a poor girl. I'll move to another city. I'll go to Chicago. Midwest sounds great. That's how far away I need to be from Thai Rivera. So she's leaving to Chicago. When do you leave, Claire?
September 8th.
September 8th.
September 8th.
And why do you hate me so much?
It's a mixture of the drama.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really a Chihuahua fan.
What?
Just kidding.
Okay.
I just kidding.
I was going to say everything else is all right, but beige? it's
And
beige.
I don't want to get racial, but a big factor. No, I'm joking.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what's worse, the Native American or the Mexican,
That's the Mexican for sure. Trust me. As a Mexican, I'm telling you, it is the Mexican. Don't kid yourself, Claire. Don't. Let's not play each other here. But yeah, so you're going back. So they are going to Chicago because you like set up your timeline. You're from Vegas originally.
I'm from Vegas, and like when I was a senior in high school, I was like, I want to move to Chicago. When I was a junior in high school, that's when I decided I wanted to live in Chicago. Mm-hmm. Because at that point in time, I was really into music, and they have a really good music scene there. I'm not a musician, but I did music photography.
Yeah.
But then senior year, I started doing stand-up. And I started in Vegas, so I stayed in Vegas for the first couple years. And then I went to Chicago in 2020, March 2020, right before the shutdown.
Yeah.
And I started going to school out there. And
Well, when you say right before the shutdown, that's right before the shutdown.
It was a week before the shutdown.
Yeah, okay.
Because I don't pay attention to news. I don't care. It's not my business.
Same.
So when I got there, my dad was like warning me before I left, and I was like, not my business, whatever.
Yeah, old people are always worried. I would have been the same way when I was 22, like, shut up.
I was like, I already have my ticket, so.
Yeah, it looks like I'm going, so stop with the tricks. You're not going to keep me here. I get it. Daddy's little girl.
Yeah.
You want me home? No.
Whatever. My dad made up COVID probably. Just
Yeah,
keep me home.
he's behind it all.
If my dad wanted me to stay in Vegas so bad, he would give one of his single lawyer friends my phone number.
Well,
So,
yeah, if he wanted me in Vegas so bad, he'd give one of his single lawyer friends my number. I'm beginning to think your dad doesn't want me in Vegas.
but yeah, I moved there in 2020, and I started going to school out there. I started working on my degree, but I was having a really bad with the riots and the Chicago winter and COVID and the lockdown and stuff. It was really bad for my mental.
Yeah.
So I decided like last minute, I called my dad and I was like, I need to come home. Like I need to. And that was in November of 2020.
Wow, you stuck it out though.
I stuck it out. I was on the verge. You can ask. I was texting my friends. I was texting Garrett Hall. I was like, I'm going to kill myself if I don't come home right now.
No,
it was
yeah.
bad. So I came back and I'm doing pretty good. I still am doing pretty good. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be back in Vegas. And I was like, I'll finish my degree in Vegas. And then I went to the school, and because while I love stand-up comedy, I also am very high maintenance.
Yeah. Yeah, we've discussed this. I know. You want actual money.
I want actual money. And so I went to the school out in Vegas, and they didn't accept any of the credits I've already taken, so I would have to start my degree all over again.
Because you were going for what?
Dental hygiene.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I would have to start my degree all over again, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. So I'm like, it would be easier just to move back to Chicago.
Well, yeah.
And here's the thing is, it's only another, at most, 2 years.
So once you get, what would the term be? Certified? Is that what happens?
It's a degree. It's an associate's degree. But
Okay, so once you get your degree, then you can take it anywhere, or do you have to, like...
I think I would have to, like, complete a test in the states I want to be in, but that's easy enough.
Yeah, but the schooling part, you don't have to do over again
no,
once
no,
you...
no.
All right, well then, yeah, that makes sense. And, like... is that something you really want to do, or is it just something to do?
It's just something to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
What I really want to do is stand up, but while I'm working at that, I want money. So
Yeah.
I chose a degree that doesn't take too much time and pays good enough.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Well, you're a smart person and you'll figure it out. And plus, you're young enough. Like, I think they used to say the average, or recently said the average person will change careers 5 times in their life. Is that what it is?
Oh, I've probably changed it already 7 times. You know how many licenses I have?
To me, that's a good thing, because it's like if you figure things out and you're like, okay, I want to do something else, and then you're willing to take that step and you're actually willing to do what you have to do to make that happen, whether you like it or not doesn't really matter.
No.
Like for me, life is about getting experiences. And so the more experiences you have, the more you're going to be prepared for stand-up, the more, like you'll have more to draw from. So I think, that's a good thing that you're actually proactive in your life, and you know yourself well enough to know right now I'm not going to be able to support myself or sustain myself on stand-up wages. Because a lot of comics aren't even that self-aware or that aware of what you make when you're starting out in stand-up.
Yeah.
And then they're wondering why they're not happy. And it's like, because you're not doing anything that's going to fulfill you in the way that you want.
But also the other thing is, with dental hygiene, those bitches only work, and I say bitches because it's a female job.
Uh-huh.
When I have a male dental hygienist, it's like, bring me someone that knows what they're doing.
Yup.
Those bitches only work like 3 days a week and make like $80,000.
Yeah.
So that sounds perfect to me.
Yeah, well, you'll have plenty of time to do stand-up.
Exactly.
And so the first time you lived in Chicago, did you have roommates, or how did that?
Yeah, I had 2 roommates.
Was that Zoe, where you had the
No,
famous?
I'm about to move in with Zoe.
Oh, I love Zoe, and I don't
too.
even know her.
I love Zoe so much.
I don't know her at all. I've never said hi to her. I've never. She's gonna watch if she
Zoe
watches
is
this.
just like me.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she watches this, she's gonna be like, I think your friend's a little loony. Like, he doesn't know me, but he loves me. That's weird. Sorry, Zoe, but
No, I'm about to move in with Zoe, because how it worked out, it actually worked out kind of perfectly. Is her roommate Summer, her school does this thing called semester in LA, because she goes to like an art school. And so she's going to LA this upcoming semester and needed someone to sublease her apartment. And so it was kind of a last minute decision, but the way everything worked out, I was like, okay, I'll sublease your apartment.
yeah.
So it kind of worked out really well that way.
So you and Zoe are gonna be. I saw you and Zoe were at a game.
Yeah, we saw the Cubbies.
Nice.
Yeah, they got raped.
Well, that's not so nice. It was a nice story until the Cubs got raped. Jesus.
They lost.
Does everything have to end in rape?
They lost really bad.
Yeah, well, I guess that's baseball. Like, I know. I guess that's baseball,
That's how the bat swings.
Yeah, let's get off the subject, because I know nothing about baseball at all. Nothing at all. What was I going to tell you, though? But what okay, Unbothered as a theme usually goes like you talk about something that bothers you until you're unbothered. And I realize there may be nothing that bothers you that much, but in the stand-up world, or just in general, what bothers you, or what is there anything that's been getting to you with stand-up?
Okay, well, there's one big thing, and then I'll get to stand up.
Okay.
Because I actually just talked myself into being unbothered by something. My period is a week late. Don't really care though. Because here's the thing. I could just go to Six Flags or something, you know?
I hate you so much.
I'm not too worried about it at all. So I've also been drinking vitamin C like Tang. I've been drinking 4,000 milligrams a day.
You know, if you want, we can walk Bijou and I'll push you down the stairs when you least expect it. Just
No, I really don't think, because I haven't even been attracted to anyone for like the past month.
Yeah.
I've been so disinterested in men because I've been so happy with myself.
So you don't think it's a pregnancy scare?
No, I think it's just naturally
Hormonal, just
yeah.
something
I
a
think
little
I
off.
probably changed my eating pattern or something.
Okay.
Something, I don't know, maybe I gained weight, maybe I lost weight, I don't know. So I'm not that worried about it, actually. And if it's actually a problem, I'll go to Six Flags, like I said.
Well, I'll
And that's
push
gonna
you
be a lot
down the
of
stairs.
fun.
That's a serious offer. I'll have you sign a waiver before we go for our walk. Not allowed to sue me. I'm sorry if your back gets fucked up, but at least, you know, it probably won't hurt for 18 years.
Yeah, that's true. No, I'm a really hard person to get bothered, actually.
So with stand-up, you're pretty much cool with everything. What do you think? Okay, so
The comics annoy the fuck out of me. But
of course.
especially being a female, it's like, shut the fuck up.
Well, that's
I
something
keep
I want
being
to.
held hostage. I haven't talked about it on the podcast, but I keep being held hostage.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. What do you want to say? Who's held you hostage, or do you
I'm
just
not
want to
gonna-
tell the
I'm
stories?
not gonna
Or
drop names because I haven't had like drama with them or anything. I just
Okay.
stopped talking to them. But on 2 separate occasions now, I'm someone, I like to hang out. Someone asks me to hang out, I'm hanging out.
yeah,
I don't do shit. I'm hanging out. And so, like, comics will ask me, like, oh, we're going here after. Or, hey, do you want to come back? We're hanging out at my place. Whatever, whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, sure. And then when I get there, somehow everyone else didn't get the memo. And it's just me and the comic. On 2 separate occasions. Maybe it's my fault. Don't care. But, it's really annoying.
it's not your fault though. You know, it's really
Yeah.
not. Like, I'm not one of those people that really subscribe to the, like, you know, victim blaming and stuff like that. But really, it is shitty of them because when you know that people aren't actually coming over, and that's like an old guy trick. You know, guys
well,
always
these
pull
people
that.
were older.
Yeah. Like, guys always think that they're so smart. And so it's like, I'm going to tell her that we're going to all be hanging out.
And it's like, hey, man, if you thought that I would actually be interested, you don't have to lie.
Yeah. Well, just tell me what's up. We
yeah.
don't have to pull this
Yeah,
whole.
so it's happened on 2 separate occasions. I've felt forced to kiss them in 2 separate occasions. And I'm like, all right. Not that big of a deal. I've been raped before, you know, so.
Yeah, well, you mentioned that too, and we'll get to that. I know that.
Not by a comic, just in genre.
Yeah, I know that the rape should probably be more, but I'm for the gossip. So, with the how are they forcing you to kiss them, or why do you feel forced to kiss them?
Well, maybe forced is a bad word. It's not. But I call them hostage situations because it'll just be really close. And it's just, I don't like to feel awkward.
Yeah.
So I'm someone that will do something just to ease the tension. So it's not exactly forced as much as it's like, I'm very uncomfortable and I think this will fix it.
I'm going to tell you as your friend, because when I was a gal, when I was a young girl myself, guys used to do that with me, and they would try to force me to kiss them and stuff. And I admit, when I was younger, there were a few times where I went along with it.
Yeah.
But eventually, and you do it at your own pace, but I would say sooner than later, just learn to live with that discomfort and tell them no.
Yeah.
And even if you have to get like a little bit stern with them and be like, you know, I'm telling you, no. There was one guy one time, he was this cholo looking guy. And, you know, he was okay or whatever, but he wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
You know how some people, you look at them and you're like, on paper, I should be attracted to you, but I'm just not, you know?
You can appreciate it, but you're not.
Yeah, so he wasn't my thing. So he offers to walk me to my car after this party that it was my friends Jesse and Robert were having a party. Well, they used to have like after
Jesse
hours
and
all the
Ari?
time. What?
Me, Jesse, and Dari.
No, Jesse.
If they test me, I'm sorry.
I hate you so much. I know what you're talking about. It's bang bang.
Jesse and Nari.
Jesse, I'm sorry. Doesn't
Right,
she say
like
something
a
out of
Harley.
Ferrari or yeah, that is bang bang. Yeah, I hate that song because Jessie J says like something about she got a body like an hourglass, but like Jessie has no shape, so it gets on my nerves. That she has the hourglass line. It's like Nikki should have the hourglass line. Ari should not have the hourglass line.
Okay,
either.
but continue your story.
Anyway, there's another part though in Seven Rings where Ariana Grande says something about her something being round like her ass or like you know what I mean or like I don't remember what the line is.
When you see them racks, they stacked up like my ass, yeah.
But she says like makes reference to her ass being like round in some way, and I'm just like I don't know who wrote that line for her, but. That's not true, Ari. Ariana Grande is very beautiful.
Yeah.
But she does not have.
She doesn't have a badonk.
She doesn't at all. Not
No.
and much less a badonkadonk, which it would take to really do that line. We'll find it
Again, they
afterwards.
should have given it to Nikki.
Again, yeah. But I guess they're like, we can't just have Nikki do the whole song, you guys. She's not even the strongest vocalist. Technically, she doesn't even belong with these two. Like singing Jessie J and Ariana.
Yeah.
Body, Nikki. But anyway, so this Cholo guy, he offers to walk me to my car, which I guess is chivalrous. But me being a guy, when another guy offers to walk me to my car and I don't want to fuck him, I always feel like this is wholly unnecessary.
Yeah.
But, if I like them, please walk me to my car. Who knows what could happen?
It's really all up in the air.
Yeah, I mean, it's dark out. Anything could happen. I'm a little guy.
5'7", 125.
Exactly. 135. I
Oh.
wish 125. Ooh, I would be happy. 126 was really a sweet spot for me, but it was very hard to maintain, so it wasn't really a sweet spot. It was just like when you feel like
eating
you're really
disorder.
active in your eating disorder, when you hit those strides with your eating disorder where you're like, this is really if you're going to do it,
It
this
feels
is
kind of good.
It does.
It feels kind of good.
You're not allowed to say that, but it's true.
Oh my gosh, when I wake up hungry, I'm like, oh my gosh, skinny day.
Yeah, it's
Skinny
like,
day.
okay, well, let's.
That's another thing I'm doing. I think I'm gonna not eat for 3 days and try to starve this baby out.
I'm so tired of you and this baby.
One of us can survive.
Just have the baby and give it to me. You'll be Aunt Claire.
Gay ally Claire Hawley.
There you go.
Okay.
And nobody ever has to know that you even had the baby. You're going to be in Chicago.
I know. If I had it, it would be the guy in Chicago that gave me strep throat and then ghosted me. Wouldn't that be kind of funny?
It's an odd story. I don't know exactly what to do with that. Just give me the damn baby. Can we just agree I'm getting this damn baby? I'm going to be a dad, you guys. Beige. You're going to have a little brother or sister. I hope the baby doesn't have strep. I don't need those medical bills. I can't afford this kid, Claire.
So throw me down the stairs.
Beige, get your leash. We're going for a walk. But yeah, okay. So this Cholo guy offers to walk me to my car. And like I said, I'm not down with fucking around with him, but it's one of those eye roll. You've been there a million times where you're like, okay, I guess, And so that was the last part of me that was like people pleasing at that time. The fact that I even let him walk me to my car. And so he is saying bye, and at the time I drove a Jeep Grand Cherokee, so he's right eye level with me in the window, and so he's like leans into my car to give me a kiss, and then I lean back because I don't want to give him a kiss. Well, he puts his hand behind my head, literally puts his hand behind my head like hooks, and then starts pulling my head. And so and he was a strong guy, so as my head is getting closer to his face, I was just like, rape. And then he was like, he's Cholo, so he was like, that's fucked up. And I was like, But it's kind of true. It's like, I don't want to kiss you and you're trying to force me to kiss you by pulling my head. It's kind of true. You know, yeah, it's not rape. And then he was like, well, that's fucked up. And I was like, well, then don't do that because I don't want to kiss you. I'm not trying to be mean, but I just don't want to kiss you.
Yeah. These guys are turning me into one grimy ass female.
You know,
I used to be a real sweetheart.
Just start really
grimy.
saying no, you know, in all situations. And also, like I said, I don't blame you for ending up back at people's places when you do. But what I would do, one thing I would do is, a lot of people don't like being exposed from the beginning. You can tell by the way the Las Vegas comedy scene is mad at me right now. But a lot of people don't like being exposed from the beginning. So if you just ask them from the beginning, like, are there really going to be people at your place? Or is this just you tricking me into just being with you? Because if that's what it is, I'm leaving as soon as we get there. Yeah. You know, that's a good way to tell them. Or once you get there, as soon as you notice nobody's there, I would be like, you know, well, if nobody else is here in 10 minutes, I'm just going to leave. Yeah. You know, but so how are they forcing you to kiss them, or what was the situation?
Well, since there was 2 separate occasions, one was like, first of all, the most recent one, we like walked out of this place that we went to, and I was like, okay, bye. And he like went to hug me, and I was like, whatever. So I hugged him, but then like he stayed like around the waist, and I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, he got me. I was
one
like,
of these.
I'm trapped.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it was, and he was like, my place is right there. I'm like, I'm going home.
Yeah. I'm
going home. Not to mention, it was also like 5 a.m. on like a weekday. Like, I have a real human job.
Yeah.
I have a real adult job. Someone needs to sell Medicare, and it's me. But yeah, that was one of the actually, that was basically both the times.
Yeah, the other guy, same thing. I got
caught because I'm only 5'5", you know.
Yeah,
but I can do.
You're very pretty. Nothing against anybody. Well, because, you know, that makes it seem like non-pretty people shouldn't be able to do this.
Have you heard my new bit about that?
No.
Oh my God, you didn't hear it?
Not yet.
Okay.
But you got to remember that. I always tell people that, and not enough people listen to me on that. They always think I'm being like catty or stuff. But like, when you're pretty, you have a lot of power. And I think a lot of times pretty people forget that. And so you should be very, you know, feel very confident in telling people and laying down boundaries. Because what you got to remember is, I know the guys you're talking about, and that's between you and them. So it's not like I'm going to jump in, and also you're a grown woman. You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm going to approach them and be like, I heard, and I'm not going to say their names here. But I know the guys you're talking about, and you have to remember that you're really out of their league. Yeah. And so the fact that they even got to put their paws on you in the first place, it'd be that
blessing enough.
Yeah. So enough. Get your hands off of me. I don't want to kiss you. I just want you to get away from me. You know, and be confident in that, because, like, you know, people take liberties. What happened with the rape situation? Do you want to talk about that, or do you not talk about that?
I don't really talk about it. It doesn't really bother me anymore. It was like 4 years ago, so I don't really. I get over things really quickly.
Me too.
I get over things. I was over it within like a month. I was making jokes. And my friends were like, is that healthy? And I'm like, I'm fine.
Well, that's the problem, you know, because I tell people on the podcast all the time, like, you know, sexual assault, sexual harassment, anything to do with sex.
Yeah. It's like, you know what, do you want me to like stew over it and like kill myself? No, I'm fine.
Yeah.
You know, I just won't associate with that person again. Like, you know, I was talking to my dad, not about the rape, but it ties into just getting over it. My dad fell off a 50-foot cliff when he was 18. Yeah. And people always ask him, they're like, did you go to therapy? Like, that must have been so traumatic. And he goes, no, I just stay away from cliffs.
Well, yeah.
And so that's kind of how I feel about it. Like, no, I just stay away. Like...
Yeah, well, I feel the same way. Like, you know, I've had so many things that were supposed to be traumatic happen to me. Yeah. And, like, that's what happened with me in that situation recently, where I had my situation where I got attacked at the LA Comedy Club. And then I went to South Point right after. And some people don't understand that thinking, because they think if something bad happened one place, then you obviously wouldn't go to the other place. But to me, I'm so used to traumatic situations that I just get over it quickly, and I'm like, I still have the rest of the night to finish out.
Yeah, my brain automatically goes to, well, what are the odds it'll happen again? You know?
Yeah. And, and if it does, it's like I just had it happen.
Knock them all out at once.
Yeah, I just had it happen. Like, let's do this while I'm still keyed up from the last one. This adrenaline will push me through eventually, like I can't change my whole night about
After
it.
the third time, it's like, I get the hint.
Right, you guys don't want me around. Jesus, could have just said that. Not everybody has to get so handsy about it, Like, you're just at a point. Use your words, fellas.
But yeah, no, I don't care.
Yeah.
That ties into it takes a lot to bother me.
Yeah.
And if I do get bothered, it'll take approximately at most 24 hours for me to get over it.
Well, that's the same with me too. Like, I mentioned that on last week's episode where I said that, I was a little bit like there was a point when all of that stuff, because, I'll run on adrenaline. And then at a point it'll sink in for me and I'll but I think there's a part of that's what people project onto you. For me anyway, you know what I mean? I'm not speaking for you, but for me, it's like so many people will be like, wow, I'm sorry, I can't believe that happened. And I appreciate it because I know that they're sincere.
Yeah.
But like what doesn't feel like a big deal to me will eventually start to feel like a big deal because I feel like, well, if everybody's apologizing to me for it, then maybe I should think this is a bigger deal than it is, or maybe it should be more traumatic than I'm taking it as, And so... like, I think sometimes I let that get in my head a little bit and that'll affect my mood. And then, so like it took, there was a minute there where I was like, maybe I should be kind of down or maybe I should. And then, I went out that night to Champagne's and then I was like, no, life is good. I'm not going to be worried about this.
Yeah, no, I'm a big believer in the past is the past.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I mean, like, really do... make it your plan, your mission to just get more comfortable with putting your boundaries down.
No, yeah, I'm getting real grimy and cold-hearted the past month and a half.
And they can feel however they want to feel. That's not on you.
That's not my problem.
Yeah, and they'll try to make it seem like, like when guys pull the, because I'm sure you've had this one happen, but I'm so horny. And it's like, well, be horny.
Yeah.
Like that,
I've told guys, well, sleep it off. I don't know what to...
Yeah, that's not my problem, Like, I don't even know what you're doing. Not too long ago, this guy wanted me to pee on him.
Did you do it?
No. Oh. I had to put down the strong boundary with him. But you get older, it gets worse, Claire. That's what I'm saying. It never stops. That's why you got to learn now. That's why I'm trying to help you out early. So you don't end up pissing on some guy that you don't want to piss on in West Phoenix.
Oh, so you did it.
No, I didn't. Except for one time I did. And I do a joke about it. But there was one time that I did because I was drinking pitchers. And this guy kept buying me pitchers of beer. This was back.
Oh, this was his plan.
Yeah, it was. And I hadn't realized it, But, the joke goes that I pissed on him. I left and I was disgusted, because he got in his bathtub and I pissed on him, but the money was worth it. So, and that's really what it was, because he offered me money to piss on him. And I was like, well, I was going to piss anyway.
That's fair.
So what do I care if somebody's...
And it was in a bathtub. That sounds pretty controlled.
Yeah, for me, it was,
controlled and safe.
Yeah, because, we had gone to the bar. We've been drinking pitchers. And then I finished up my last pitcher and I was like, I got to piss. And he was like, would you mind coming back to my place and pissing on me? And I was like, I don't want to do that. And then he was like, I'll give you money. And I was like, how much?
Now hold on.
Yeah, let me not just say no. Who am I?
I would do this. Honestly, I'd do the same thing.
I know me. Yeah, and it's like there's not much I won't do for money. Got to be the right price. But, and as you get older, that's the other thing. Your price, you get more like, okay, I need this much because that much isn't shit, you know? And so, but yeah, so he paid me and I pissed on him but this other guy, we were just hanging out like a hookup off Grindr.
Yeah.
And this was maybe a month and a half ago. I ended up back at his house like last week, 2 nights ago. You see how my boundaries work? I mean, like...
Was it Dakota?
No! I would piss on Dakota.
Would you?
Yeah, if he let me have my way with him first. If we did all my stuff first and he was like, can you piss on me? I'd be like,
You know what, Dakota? You put the cheese on my eggs.
exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. If he's going to put the cheese on my eggs, stir it with your dick, Dakota.
I still think of that phrase sometimes and I just laugh to myself.
It works for a lot of things.
It does.
Stir it with your dick.
Just stir it with your dick.
But yeah, and so like what happened was we were fucking around. I had already come.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying not to be graphic,
Ew.
Would I say I got off? That doesn't sound better. I don't know what
I beat off a little bit.
I finished. This is sounding worse. The cleaner I try to make it, the worse it
you
sounds.
got milked.
I did get milked. See, that part he was good at. You know what I mean? Like that. But it was also one of those, because all the tattoos have put me in this position where guys that hook up with me on Grindr usually want me to use them on some level. Like they think more
you
like
look very dominant.
Yeah, so that's more their thinking. Little do they know, like, I don't do all this. I'm not, like, hey, so it's good, you know what I mean?
Once you open that mouth.
Yeah, I keep it shut too, because I need them to just do, like, me and you have that in common. Like when you said you do almost nothing.
Oh, nothing.
I'm the same.
If you don't explicitly ask me, I won't do it.
Yeah.
I won't.
When a guy tells me, I just want you to come over and I'm going to give you head, I'm always like, yeah. And in my head, I'm like, I hope that's all he means.
I've had hookups. I just laid there.
Yeah, I sit on a lot of couches.
Yeah.
And that's literally a request that's made of me. I just had one yesterday that was like that. I think I get around too much. I did have one just yesterday that was like that. He was like, I'm just basically looking for a beep to worship. And then I was like, I think I'm your guy. And so he was like, just come in, make yourself comfortable on the couch. And he tried to do that thing where he wanted me to just walk in his place, get naked, and like, if you answer the door, I'll do that. But I'm not just going to walk in to a house I've never been in.
Make yourself at home.
Yeah, no, because you could be setting up one of your exes that doesn't know I'm coming, or I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So I'm just not doing it. But I was like, come to your door. Hit me up when you're ready to come to your door. Because by this time, I was already outside of his place because he gave me his address and was like, head over here. And so,
What was it?
Huh?
What was the address?
I think it was 2544 Monroe.
Oh, okay.
I think it was 2544. It could have been 2455.
Arizona?
Phoenix.
Okay.
Specifically. That is, I think, the real address. I'm not even joking. I'm really trying to remember it, Like I
you
think
could
it
have
was
made something up so easily.
2544, 2545. Anyway, it's
2455.
And anybody that knows Phoenix is like, this bitch is trashy, 'cause so I went, and it was this. I guess I shouldn't be too descriptive now that I gave the address.
So it had a red door. It was
it was
white painting.
Yeah, it was.
There was 3 windows out the front.
Anyway. See, and I'm probably not going to beep that out. I'm just going to let it be what it was. It was what it was. But anyway, so I go to this place and, we hang out or whatever. That was that guy. Okay, but the other one that wanted me to pee on him, the first time I went over to his place, he, was just taking care of me, you could say.
Yeah.
And then after I was done, then he was like, will you piss on me? And I was like, no. And he was like, come on. And then he just started trying to rub my hips like he was gonna conjure it or something like that.
He was manifesting.
Yeah, he was manifesting. And it and it got very uncomfortable because he kept asking me, and then I got like, no. And I had to just say it like that.
Yeah.
And, I was just like, no, I'm not going to piss on you. And then the other night was uncomfortable. I had to leave.
Yeah.
His roommate was home.
Oh.
But his roommate was in the bedroom, passed out. And I was hearing, because he was like, it's a complicated situation. And I was like, that sounds like it could be weird. And he was like, he's drunk, so he's asleep. we'll fuck around in the living room. And, you know,
Doesn't sound like a roommate.
yeah, but it was dark. You know what I mean? When I got there, I was like, all right. So,
Yeah.
but, you know, then I just at a point said I was uncomfortable and I wanted to leave. And then he kept trying to like keep me from putting my clothes back on. And I couldn't be loud because his roommate was asleep and I didn't know what that was about. And so finally, I literally
want to be
growled
tag
at
teamed.
him.
What?
I didn't know what else to do. You know what I mean? Like, I was like,
You growl.
yeah. And so
I don't even have anything to say about that.
neither do I. I'm not proud of it. It's just, you know, when you don't know what to do and you're like, maybe this will work. You know, it's just what naturally comes out. And so then he let me
hit one of
leave.
these?
Yeah. I gave him my little monster, my Lady
Paws up
Gaga.
forever.
Yeah, paws up. But yeah, and so he let me leave at that point, or I left at that point. I wouldn't say let me because
You were freed from your shackles.
at this point nobody's letting me do anything. You know, I'll fucking get out of there. So I got out of there, and really it was, like I said, partly because I was uncomfortable, but it was also partly because another guy had hit me up on Grindr, and I kind of wanted to see what that was about. And I was like, this is boring. I don't want to just fuck around with this guy in the quiet,
Yeah.
in the dark. And, you know, it was what it was. But anyway, back to you.
I'm like, I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Who knows? Who cares? All I know is if I have a guest on, I shouldn't do too much talking. Too late.
Reported.
Yeah, I should let you do more of the talking. But like overall, what would you say comedy is like being a woman in comedy?
I don't know. I have fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have fun. I don't really talk to many other women comics, so I don't really know what they're up to. But
Yeah.
I don't know, because I feel like obviously not all of them, but I feel like a bunch of female comics, at least at like open mics and stuff, are very politics centered, and I'm way too retarded to talk politics.
Yeah, like
So,
you think they're political?
I'd rather have fun than talk about feminism and politics and stuff like that. So I feel like women are more political at open mics.
That's what I feel about a lot of the gays.
You think? I don't know. You're the only gay I talk to.
Yeah, the gays in comedy are a little bit too, like, you know, want to push whatever. They hate Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, but it's like I'm just here to have fun and tell my stupid jokes.
That's what I feel like too. So I don't really have a lot of time for that,
I'm
and
here
it
to get
makes
a
people
drink.
mad.
Have fun and go home.
You have been getting down lately. I saw you having shots.
I have a problem.
Yeah, I saw you having shots on Insta. I was like, look at us doing it big on a Monday. I remember. No, it was Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday.
Because you were at Champagne's. And I was like, I didn't even know she was at Champagne's right now.
I have been getting down lately.
In my mind, I get mad at me when you don't tell me you're in the area. Or I get mad at you when you don't tell me you're in the
Really?
area. When you, like, because you were at Dive like a couple weeks ago or last week.
Yeah.
And then you were at Champagne's like right before that. And I was like, she never tells me. And then I'm like, well, I wouldn't go anyway. So I don't know why I care.
That's what I thought, 'cause I would tell you, but I'm like, at that point, I was like, Ty's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like-
It's true. So it's just like one of those things where you're like, she should have told me. And then it's like, for what?
Yeah. Because I'm like, Ty doesn't want to go anywhere.
Yeah. That's why I always catch myself.
I'm like, well, when I want to see Ty, I always ask you if you're going to Chonkla's.
Yeah.
I always ask you every Wednesday. I'm like, are you going to Chonkla's? Because that one, I'm like, I need Ty there.
And I don't blame you. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
Chonkla's is its own thing. But you got to go up at Chonkla's last week.
Yeah, it went pretty good.
Yeah,
He
it
said,
looked
I'm gonna
like
be
it-
put up 2 more times before I leave.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Good.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I was glad you got up at Chonkla's. I don't stay in the room for almost anybody though, you know, just because I'm very self-centered.
I
Like,
don't listen to anyone either.
if I'm not up, nobody's up. Nothing I need to be paying attention to on stage. It's just what it is.
Doesn't matter how they do. I don't care.
You know, before you go on, I'll be like, "Kill it, Claire!" But
Yeah,
you know,
and then
that's
leave.
yeah, that's my version of support. You know, it's just What?
No,
I
and
told her
really,
to kill it.
I don't need you to babysit me.
I figure not. You seem pretty like you got it. And I watched for a little while, like when I took your picture
Yeah.
and then put that on. What's it called? I was watching at that point. And I also noticed Claire gave out her mother's actual phone number.
702. Fuck.
Will you not do it again? This will last and people will call. They'll be like, did you
They're not
know
going
that
to the
your
address,
daughter...
but they're gonna call Bonnie.
They will call Bonnie. They will. Bonnie will be like the white woman's called Tyrone.
No, but chocolate. I did fine at chocolate. I did good.
It seemed like it went well. And if you got told you're going to be back 2 more times before you leave, which is in less than a month,
Yeah.
then you must have done well.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah, I love chanclas, me personally, because like for me, I just feel like they're very family to me. Even Jack, and that's what like when there was that rumor going around that I wasn't allowed at chanclas, that was the most ridiculous thing in the world because it's like really
Out of
chanclas.
everywhere.
Yeah, that's like telling people that I'm not allowed at my parents' house.
Yeah.
Like there's just
Well, they
places.
call you what? You're the house mom.
Yeah, I'm the house mom. And Megan, the owner, she's always telling me how welcomed I am there,
Yeah.
and I like her and I are mutual admiration society. We're
Yeah.
both always like, hey, hugs. We talk for a minute and, like catch up real quick. And she'll bitch at me about whatever's going on, like whether it's an employee fucking up or just something that's happening
Yeah.
with the property in general or, so it's that kind of situation. So when that was the thing, it was like, you don't know how off you are right now. Stop spreading rumors.
No, chanclas is super fun.
Yeah. And I wish in that way, I wish I was still drinking.
They make their drinks strong as fuck there.
I don't doubt it.
They make them strong.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It seems like it would be a good place to get drunk. And I'm so comfortable there. I know I could, but I just don't want to drink.
Yeah. That's all I've been like. I haven't smoked. I haven't even done coke or anything in a while either. I've just chose the healthier option with the just drink it.
She has vodka cran, so she thinks the cranberry is making it healthy.
That's my urinary tract health.
Yeah, I know it is really though. It is. I used to think that way too. When I was younger, I'd be like, well, at least my kidneys are gonna be
I
good.
used to be a Long Island girl, and y'all are lucky that's not me anymore.
I used to be a Long Island girl.
It's so fun.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God. Long Island's had me on way too many sidewalks.
Yeah, it was same here. And then, once I got older and the alcohol didn't, because, like when
Yeah.
you're younger, you can do the well. And,
Yeah.
you can just tell them, just make me a Long Island.
Yeah.
So then my drinks got really expensive when I got a little bit older. And I realized, because somebody told me, you don't get as bad of a hangover if you drink high-end alcohol
Yeah.
because the distillation process is different. And so I tried that and that made sense. It actually worked.
Yeah, I don't get hangovers at this point.
Yeah, because you're young.
Yeah.
Neither did I when I was young. But then I had to graduate to top shelf Long Islands. So they were expensive, but
They got the job done.
they sure did. And you only need like 2 or 3 of them.
My ex-boyfriend I used to live with was the worst alcoholic in the world, and he would drink 4 Locos every day and throw up every night.
Oh, no.
I know. And he was young. I think he was like 25 or 26. He was still young.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy's fucked. And then he tried to kill himself in front of me.
What do you do?
He tried to overdose.
Really?
Yeah, but then he like threw up blood in his sleep, and I was like, oh, fuck. Because after a point you get like numb to it when you're in a relationship like that.
Oh, yeah,
Especially when
yeah.
you're living with them. I was like,
Yeah.
what now? Like, what now? But then he woke up. Well, at first I checked his phone because I was like, what the fuck? Did he tell anyone? And the last person he DM'd was Little Peep's mom. And it was like, thank you so much for bringing Little Peep into the world, blah, blah. This was after Little Peep had died.
Did he know Lil Peep's mom?
No, he didn't know Little Peep.
So how'd he message her? Or what?
Like Instagram direct.
Oh, my God. This guy had a problem.
Yeah, he was fine. I don't know where he is now. I woke up one day, all his stuff was gone. And I was like, all right.
Oh, yeah, you told me about
Yeah.
him. Yeah, that's a weird way. Do you think that, like, do you have any, like, abandonment issues towards relationships because of that, or has it not?
No.
No. I think that would do something to me if I woke up and somebody was completely gone. I think that would make me
I
just...
don't know. I haven't been in another relationship since that.
Okay.
I know it's kind of messed up my perception of, because in that relationship he didn't work, I did everything. Like, I paid for everything, I paid rent, I paid everything. So it's kind of messed up the way that, like, when I go out with a guy, I expect the bare minimum, and I'm like, oh, I'm swept off my feet. If someone opens the door for me, I'm like, so that's, I think, the only way that relationship affected me.
I've been in both situations.
Is I have no expectations at all.
Yeah, I've been in both, where I've been fully taken care of, and then I've been in relationships where I've been taking care of everything.
I'm trying to get in one where I'm taken care of.
Just want one now that's like truly, and this is what I wanted with my ex too. I would like one that's truly a partnership.
Yeah.
And, sometimes in a partnership, they have to take care of you, and sometimes you have to take care of them.
Yeah.
But there's no, like, set dynamic. It's just, and ideally, when things are working out, you're both kind of 50-50 or pretty close to it. You're never going to be unless you're both miserable bitches.
Right.
That are like, oh, well, I paid for this last time, so now you have to. And I don't ever want to be in that. But, where it feels equal is where I want to be at. And so, I get it when you say that part. Like, and yeah. That was my thing for a while because, when I was younger, obviously doing sex work, you make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I would end up with these guys that were really my thing, but they were either losers.
Yeah.
Or they turn into losers from dating me because...
What?
Because when guys feel like they don't have to worry about anything, then suddenly they'll miss work. And then before you know it, they don't have a job and they know that you're going to take care of it. And also there's a part of you or there's a part of me that felt like, well, I got us anyway. And so I would kind of floss that quite a bit, where it's like, basically you don't have to work because either way I'm going to have it.
Yeah.
And so then in my mind for a long time, that was the, like the way that I saw a relationship being, like I'm supposed to take care of everything. So I get that, but snap yourself out of that too while you're young.
Yeah, I'm trying. Like I said, I'm trying to be as grimy as I can right now.
You deserve to be treated like a lady.
I know.
You need somebody that's going to treat you right. So
I need to call Jordan Underwood.
You know what? I'm so tired of you. Jordan Underwood from the Local Trash Podcast, everybody. The Good Baby.
The Good Baby.
From the Local Trash Podcast. Oof. I love Jordan, but he there's an expression that reminds me of Jordan that the gays used to always say, and that expression is, girl, you are too many things.
That is Jordan.
She's always into something.
She's always
you know what I mean?
Something.
So when I think of Jordan, I'm always like, girl, you are too many things.
Yeah, but I think I've also wrung out. Here's the thing. I don't know. I know you're on Grindr.
Yeah.
You're not on any other app.
No, I'm not Tinder.
I'm a Tinder girl.
Okay.
And Vegas guys are just so ugly, and you don't realize it till you go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then you're like swiping, and you're like, what the fuck? And that's another thing. When I was in Chicago, because I had just visited recently too, the guys there are so hot. And there, I'm even hotter because it's not the West Coast, it's the Midwest.
Yeah.
So I'm ranking high.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to ring out their dating scene.
Well, that's what I always tell everybody about, if you're not hitting where you're at, change your geography.
Yeah.
That's like, I tell gay guys all the time.
It's a real thing. Midwest 10, West Coast 6, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, and I tell gay guys that all the time, when they're like, nobody hits me up on Grindr. I'm like, drive to another side of town. Because sometimes even like, just the side of town you're on will help you out. Like if you go, like if you're a guy that's, Mexican, like you're brown skin, like, like my type, if I go to like a rougher neighborhood, it's fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all the rough guys like me because they're rough too. And it's like, they see a lot of tattoos. A lot of times they have a lot of tattoos. Also, if I'm in a really nice, like upscale white area, a lot of times that'll be really good for me too, because they're like, oh, he looks like he's a little bit dangerous.
Yeah.
Little do they know.
No, yeah, it's definitely, people that don't believe that are stupid.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, I would get, because it shows you on Tinder if someone like super likes you.
Uh-huh.
And here in Vegas, I'll get like 1 or 2, whatever. There, it was just like, oh my God. I would get like 4 a day, 3 or 4 a day. I'm like, what the fuck?
Little
wasn't
Rock,
complaining.
Arkansas was great for me.
Little Rock?
Little Rock, Arkansas, Wichita,
it.
Kansas, you know, a lot of the places I perform, and they, like, in a lot of cases, they don't have a lot of Mexican guys
Yeah.
at all. So, like, they see me and they're like, okay,
Yeah.
let me get in on this action.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, those are good places for me too.
Yeah.
Here's good, but here's
I
good
wrung
because,
it dry. I wrung Las Vegas Tinder dry.
well,
I got
you know,
ghosted by a lot of them. I still talk to one. One good one.
which one was it? Or do I remember? Did I not meet him, but did I
he's
see
the hot
him?
one. I showed
Okay.
you pictures of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
I
I
felt bad
remember.
because he hit me up on Wednesday. He's the one that was like, hit me up after the show. And I was like, I'm going to Blueberry fucking Hill.
Yeah, we did go to Blueberry Hill. But, you know, if you had stayed here, because you were saying that you were going to move to this building, or, you know, like if you had moved here,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have found anything serious, but you would have found a lot of different stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because we're right near the strip.
Yeah.
So my Grindr grid is always changing because
Yeah,
there's so
tourists.
many
I
tourists
think
coming
that's
in.
annoying, though. I don't like the tourists.
It works for me because, you know, like, but also in a lot of cases, I'll have the tourists come to me because I don't want to deal with parking on the strip.
Traffic, yeah.
You know, like parking on the strip, just going to a parking garage and all that.
Yeah,
And
it's
sometimes
annoying.
it's paid and
All of that for what?
yeah, I don't do that. Except for there was this one guy that was really, really cute and he was staying at the Aria
Mm-hmm.
and he like told me his like name and was like, you know, when you get here, go to valet and just charge the parking to my room.
Oh, so he was rolling.
Yeah, and so like in that situation, it was like, yeah, I'll do that because then
Yeah.
I don't even have to deal with the parking garage. So
Yeah.
let alone paying, you know, just all the way
Yeah.
around.
If it's a nice hotel, too, it's like,
Yeah, and he had the body that I really like.
uh-huh.
Like
Oh, so he was just checking all the boxes.
he was like my real thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like if he had been local, I would have tried to really make that happen.
Yeah.
I don't remember where he was from. I don't remember what city
I
he
don't
was
know.
from.
My also problem is, I think, because guys don't take me on dates,
Mm-hmm.
ever. I wish they did, but they don't. Maybe it's because I have huge tits.
You think that's my problem too?
Mm-hmm.
I don't go on a lot of dates, but I
Yeah.
never considered the size of my breasts.
Yeah, but that's kind of what's turning me like cold heart. Because like, if I match with you and the first thing is like, do you have a Snapchat? Hey, you're a grown up. Get off Snapchat.
But I do, and it's
But I
actually.
do, and it's Holy Claire.
But what's the correlation? Do you think between your boobs and not getting on dates? Do you think guys just think of you in a sexual way right
Yeah.
from the beginning? Yeah,
I think guys look at me in a sexual way rather than a romantic way.
yeah.
Yeah, which not my problem. To be fair, the women I looked up to growing up were like looked like just trash. Like I'm Sicilian. I grew up looking at like the mob wives and I was like, these are the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my whole life.
They are though. You know what I mean? Like
So
they're-
I am like, if I went to Jersey, I would fucking kill it. Are you joking? Oh my God.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I think people don't look at me in a romantic way, but that's fine.
Well, Chicago is mobby.
It is not as mobby as like Staten Island or Jersey, but
Yeah, but you can find mobby in Chicago,
I know,
so
that's like my dream.
maybe you'll
I
find
love
your
mobby
prince.
men.
So do I.
They're so hot.
Yeah.
I don't care. Tony Soprano, if he was when I die, my first stop is James Gandolfini.
I hate you so much. Yeah, I have always liked the guys because, you know, like when I was younger, I would hook up with guys like that, like the
Well,
ones.
it's such like a position of power,
Yeah.
and it's like such a macho thing. I love I love manly men.
Yeah, I hooked up with plenty of the guys that I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
what they did for a living, and I wouldn't, you know, there's
Yeah,
no,
that's the dream.
you don't ask questions. It's just, it is what it is.
When they wear like the cornicello and shit, I'm like, I know what you are.
Yeah, I dated this guy named Dennis that was
The menace.
Dennis was Italian, and Dennis, I don't even know if Dennis was his real name. But Dennis was Italian, and he was the kind that one time he wanted me to go to LA with him. You know, that's when I was living here in Vegas. I was living at the Thunderbird.
Vegas is pretty mobby.
Yeah. And this was like, he was one of the guys from that, you know what I mean? Like that was his thing, and like everybody else knew it, but you know, I had to pretend to be like, oh, I don't know what he does.
Right.
And like I said, I didn't ask him any questions because I don't want to know.
Not your business.
Yeah, I don't want to like know anything ever. I want to be able to honestly say I don't know if anybody asked me any questions. And so I never asked him any questions. But you know, like one time there was a bar that was called Good Times, right where the Liberace Museum used to be, right on, I think that's Tropicana. And so I used to go there. And so that used to be the place to go on Mondays. And one Monday I went there, and then he was like, I got to go to LA. Go to LA with me. And I was like, I got to do laundry. And then he was like, we'll buy clothes when we get there. And I was like, all right. And then I was like, I also got to pay my rent. And then he was like, I'll pay your rent. And I was like, all right. And I was like, you can pay weekly or monthly.
That's the other thing is the mob guys always take care of their people.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Well, I told him you could pay weekly or monthly, and then he was like, I'll pay for the month. And I was like, all right, then let's go. And so he gave me money, in case we got separated when we got there. He made me mad at a point, because like he really partied, and we were doing coke on the way over there. You know, like because we drove over there, because it was the middle of the night. I don't know why we had to drive, but we had to drive. And so maybe because he had to take coke, or I don't know. But so we did coke. We went shopping and stuff like that. And then we had this huge argument at the end of the night because, we got drunk together. He was talking to me about other guys, like with me, in that shitty way where he was like, yeah, I would just hate to see you fucking another guy and whatever. And I was like, why are we even talking about this? Why is this a thing?
Why are we talking about things that aren't happening?
Yeah. And so he's started this whole coked out argument with me, and it turned into this whole fucking thing. And it was a nightmare night, the whole night was a nightmare. And there's nothing I could do about it because you can't call hotel security or whatever because that turns into a whole nother thing. You know what I mean? And yeah, if you're some fuck up that I don't like, or you're some comic that's like me as a grown man now, but when I was younger and you're in that life and you don't even, that's not even a real option. You know what I mean? It's just like, just fucking bear this out, and tomorrow you do what you do. Yeah. So I still had his money, the money that he gave me in case we got separated, so I would have money to walk around with. And so what I did was, as soon as he left for the gym in the morning, we were staying at the Ramada in West Hollywood on Santa Monica. So as soon as he left for the gym in the morning, I just went ahead and grabbed my shopping bags and got a taxi to the airport, and I bought a ticket right there at the airport to fly myself back to Vegas. And so I flew myself back to Vegas, and then 2 weeks later he called me, and he was like, I think it was such a classy thing that you saw that we weren't getting along and you just flew yourself home instead of making it into a problem. And I was like, cool, thanks. And then he was
it took him 2 weeks to say that.
Yeah, and he was like, but it was a blowout, the night before, so it was appropriate to let it all cool down. You know what I mean? I didn't want to hear from him, he didn't want to hear from me, and both of us were really into it. It was yelling. Yeah. I'm surprised nobody called hotel security on us. And so then he was like, meet me at not Good Times, Flex, which is still here, on Charleston. He was like, meet me at Flex. I want to give you your money back for the flight. And I was like, I used your money. And then he was like, I don't care about that. I just think it was a great thing. So come get your money at Flex. Yeah. And so I went to go meet him at Flex. We got coked out again. That night I kicked him out of my house for telling me he loved me. And then we never talked again after that.
A true love story.
Yeah, well, because I hate that when guys lie to you.
Yeah.
Because I knew he didn't love me. Yeah. I knew he was very attracted to me.
Yeah.
But
he was lusting.
Yeah, he didn't love me. And so I when he told me he loved me, I told him one time, stop. And then he tried to keep, no, but you don't understand. I do love you. And I was like, please stop. It's insulting. And we were both drunk again. Yeah. And coked out again. And so I was like, then I need you to leave.
Leave now.
Yeah, and so I remember walking him to the elevator and hitting the button. That's how annoyed I was as I walked into the elevator because, I lived in a building and I had to walk him to the elevator. And
Oh my gosh. Now, there was this one time with this guy. I hate when the thing that happens to me is guys will tell me they want to take me out.
mm-hmm.
And then, like, either, like, I'll get to their apartment and they're like, I don't feel like going out anymore. Or, like, they'll be like, yeah, we'll go out later, whatever. And, like, we hook up. Because also, I want to. Like, just, that's the other thing that gets me. Like, don't lie about wanting to take me out.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
But, like, that's where...
But I got, like, into an argument about it one time because I was annoyed. This is, like, the only time I've, like, gone into an argument. Because he, like, wasn't responding to me. And I replied... I texted basically myself because he wasn't replying.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, were you actually going to take me out or were you just saying that and being a bitch? And he, like, replied and he was like, no, I'm just so stressed at work. And I was like, shut up, fag. And then that's when I was like, all right. Because if I'm arguing with a guy, I get down. Like, that's why I don't like to argue a lot. Because if I'm arguing with you, I want you to die.
Yeah,
that's why it takes so much for me because I want someone to die.
Yeah, I very rarely argue with guys anymore. Like, now there's nothing to argue
When I argue, I want
about.
them to die. I'll say whatever it takes to make them feel the worst.
Yeah, and
So I don't do it.
With the date thing, like, I very rarely go on dates anymore, but when somebody says they're going to take me on a date, I go old school on them in that way.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I would tell you, like, don't meet them at their apartment. Come pick me up.
That argument came before I came to the conclusion that I was like, oh, these guys aren't looking at me romantically.
Yeah.
It's a realization I'm at peace with, so I don't care. But that was before that, so I was, like, hurting. I was like, this keeps happening. I was like, what the fuck? But now I'm, like, very at peace with it.
I don't know. I mean, like, you be at peace with it, but don't ever think that you don't deserve more. Like, if you once you decide you want a boyfriend, you can have it. It's just a matter of, like, the other thing that people forget with guys is guys will do with whatever they think they can get away with.
Yeah.
And so once you start putting down those boundaries, once you decide what it is you want, then you can start, like, guiding them towards what it is you actually want from them. Like, with me, all these guys, I just want to, like, if I want anything, it's a hookup.
Yeah.
And then to be done. But when I want to date somebody, like with my ex that I was engaged to, like that, I just completely guided, even though we met under the shadiest, dirtiest circumstances.
Yeah, when it comes to dating, I'm very old school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you plan the date. If it's after the first date, you pick me up. You plan the date. You pay for the date. Whatever. I'm very old school in that way. But yeah, no. Sometimes I just want to go to their apartment.
Me too. Yeah. And I'll know I want to date someone if I kiss them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like, or if I want to kiss them. Because
really?
sometimes I won't kiss them and I'll want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm just like, let's not confuse this. But, like, if I really want to kiss them, then in my head, I'm like, I want to see them again. I'll see if we can.
Yeah.
And then I'll take it to a more, dating style.
Yeah. And I'll say that ex we were talking about earlier, he's probably, I've had 2 exes, but he was, like, my real, like, serious relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And with him, we basically moved in after a couple weeks. So I also have no perception of how things should go at all. Like, I have no perception. Like, my friend, Summer, she just started dating a guy and they were on, like, their 3rd date. And I was like, you still haven't kissed him? You still haven't fucked him? I'm like, what the hell? Because I have no perception. I have no perception at all.
Well, my thing is sex first, date second. Like, that's where I'm at in my life now. And then the other thing is, and this has been my entire, like, dating career, we move in basically after the first good night.
Yeah.
Either you just start staying at my place and you might not officially move in for a month.
There.
But you never go home. You know, you just like, what do you mean you're going to your place? Are you fucking someone else?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it turns very that. I wish I was more grown up, but that's what it turns into. It's like, you're not spending the night with me tonight?
Yeah, no, I have no perception at all.
So
of
I'm
anything.
going to your place?
Oh, should I pack a bag?
Yeah. Do I grab beige or?
That's it too. I can get very clingy. Like we were talking about this, I think, on our way back from Arizona, where like one time I was like in bed and we were sleeping and he like rolled away so he wasn't facing me and I was like, oh, we're fighting. I was like, we're fighting right now. Okay.
Yeah, I always know my relationships are over when I accidentally call them my ex when I'm talking to
Yeah, you
somebody
do.
else. That's happened every relationship where I've just accidentally been like, yeah, my ex. And then I'm like, oh my God, we're done.
He's already done in your head.
Yeah, in my head, we already broke up. But
Oh well.
anyway, you guys, this episode, I feel like you got to meet Claire. You guys, I laughed enough, I think, but at the same time, I wasn't ridiculously. Last time, I couldn't get a hold of myself.
Sorry we had too much fun.
It was fun. This time was fun too, but I wanted, like, my goal this time really was to like chat with you and have
Oh, yeah?
people get
A
to
real
know
convo?
you. Yeah, I wanted people to get to know you because, you know, when you're back, Unbothered will be even bigger.
Uh-huh.
And by then, everybody will be in love with me again. And I'll still not want to be around most of you.
Me neither.
Don't get me wrong, fellas. I'm not going to be mad. I just, most of you aren't that interesting. And you won't be in 2
You know
years.
my least favorite kind of comic?
What kind?
One that like comes up to you and only talks to technicalities of comedy. It's like, shut the fuck up.
They're usually the worst, too. You know what I mean? They're not even funny, usually. It's just
I
like,
know. They're like talking to technicalities. I'm like, can I just have fun here?
yeah, it's theory.
Obviously, I already know the technicalities. You just saw me crush.
Yeah, it's theory for
Let
them.
me drink my vodka cran.
I hate you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, where is it they can find you again?
I need to like change all my handles to the same thing, but I don't want to because all my usernames are fun. At Twitter at SMDWMD, suck my dick, weapon of mass destruction is what that stands for.
Twitter,
Instagram at hugh.heffer, Haffer.
Instagram,
Facebook is just my name, Claire Hawley.
HAWLEY.
Yup. And I do have Snapchat, Holy Claire. I don't add anyone back though. And then at some point this month, I'll be at Chonkless 2 other times. And
Yeah.
I'm going to be in LA August 28th. So,
August 28th, you're going to be in
August
LA?
28th, I'm
Are you
in LA.
performing there?
yeah.
What are you going to be doing?
I'm just doing a guest spot on Kyle Anderson's show.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
will be there.
Nice. That's the backyard show, right?
Right.
All right. Well, that was Claire Hawley, everybody. And I appreciate you guys watching yet another episode of Unbothered by Thai Rivera. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next time because really all the drama has kind of dissipated as far as I go. And I'm not really letting anybody get on my nerves because none of these people matter and they're not going to matter. I mean, mark my words. None of these are going to be breakout stars. But I will figure out something to be unbothered about. Until then, the only thing I ask that everybody do is stay unbothered.